Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'm very sorry for being late. Let's chant one round of Japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवत गीता एज इट इज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session, and also wish you all happy Purushottam Mass and wish you all the best in your particular vows to please the Supreme Personality of God. So let's recite Bhagavad Gita verse. We are reciting Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 text 34. Does anyone need to go first? Please raise your hand if you need to go. Yes, Prabhuji. Narsimha Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Vandasmi, all wishes Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मध्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि पवित्रत्वम् आत्मानं मत्परायणः. Translation by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Anyone else need to go first? Okay, we'll go in order. Achyut Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Guru Maharaj, all glories to the assembled devotees and happy Purushottam month, everyone.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Yes, Srila Prabhupada.
Manmana Bhava Mat Bhakto Mat Yaji Mam Namaskuru Mam Evaishasi Yuktvaivam Atma Namat Parayanaham. Translation. Translation. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Achinta Dev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Manmana man bhakto mad yachi namaskaru mam aivyashi udvaikam atmanam mat paranahaya. Translation. Engage your mind. Okay. Mataji, if you can scroll a little up.
Oh, sorry.
Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Thank you.
I had a request, I for one does not know much about the Purushottam month, except that it comes once in 4 years. So if you get an opportunity, if you can let us know what it's all about and what we need to do.
Okay. I'll tell that, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Ma'am.
Aditi Lata Mataji and Arunita.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. We are not able to hear you. Come closer to the device.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Mamana Bhava Madhvakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishyasi Yuktavya
Atma.
Atmanam
Mat Parayana.
Matparana. Translation. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaisyasi yutvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Saujanya Mataji.
Mataji, can I go next if you don't
Yeah,
mind?
go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, then I'll pronounce Krishna Srila Prabhupada, Krishna the assembled delegates. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayana. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
And
Krishna.
Prachna won't be able to read. You can skip.
Okay. So next after Aditi Lata Mataji, in by are not here. Madhava.
Manmanabhavanabhakto Madhyajimam Namaskuru Mame Vaisisi Daivam Atmanam Matparayanaha. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Yeah. Next is Lokesh. Lokesh not ready? Okay. Kalpesh, okay, Inba, Inya are here, but I don't know. They're still joining, I think. Sonia Mataji, you can go ahead. Sonia Mataji, you're able to recite?
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, just a second. I have the small screen and I don't have verses. So if you want to take somebody
Another,
else.
yeah, okay. Usha Mataji and Medha.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all praise to Srila Prabhupada, all praise to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Manmana bhava matbhakto madhyati mam namaskaru mame vaishyasi yuktaivyam atmanam matparayana. Translation. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me surely will come to me. Thank you, Mataji.
Medha.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Manmanabhava Madbhakto Matyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishyasi Yuktvaivam Atmanam Matparayanaha. Translation. Engage your mind always thinking of me, becoming my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Yeah. Priyanka Mataji, or actually Neelambari Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji. Will you recite the verse? Pranam Mataji.
Yes, yes. Manmana bhava madbhakta madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktaivam atmanam matparayana. Translation. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me, being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Priyanka Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mama namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktavam atmanam matparayanaha. Engage your mind in always thinking of me. Become my devotee, offer obeisances and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, you will surely come to me.
Yes, Mataji. Okay. Sri Radhe Shravani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay. Inba Inia.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishyasi Yuktvaivam Atmanam Matparayana. Translation. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Yes. Inia.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. We don't hear you. We are unable to hear you, Inia.
Mataji, now can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mamai Vaishyasi Yuktvaivam Atmanam Matparayanaha. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisance to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Yes. Okay. Prabhuji and Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mam Evayasi
Evaishyasi.
Evaishyasi Yuktvaivam Atmanam Matparayanaha. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Yes.
Mataji, he's out of town. Yeah, he's not here.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mataji. Thank you. Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishyasi Yuktvevam Atmanam Matparayanaha. Translation. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Kalpesh Prabhu is there?
Mataji, he's getting ready.
Okay, no problem. Later. Lokesh, are you there?
Hare Krishna Mataji. That was pronunciation of Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Go ahead, Mataji.
Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam ye vaishyasi yuktaivam atmanam matparayanah. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Lokesh.
Manmana
Bhakto Madhyaji Vam Namaskuru Mam Evashyasi Yuktaivam Atmanam Matparayana. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So, Suhrit Spurti, Suvarnangi Mataji are there? Or should I just pass?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishyasi Yuktvaim Atmanam Matparayanaha. Translation. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Prabhuji and Spurti are not yet.
Not there. Okay. Did anyone not recite yet? Did I miss anybody? Everyone has recited. I'll also recite. Bhagavad Gita 9:34. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So, Prabhuji was asking about Purushottam Mass this month. So, in some places it is yesterday, and in some places it is today, the first day of Purushottam Mass. So, this is an extra month. So, we have 12 months in a year, but this is the 13th month, which comes every 3.5 years. And so sometimes it is also called Mala Mas. Mala means dirty. So because it is extra month, the other months were considering this to be like achut, right? Untouchable, like that. So this month felt very sad. And anyway, the Lord took compassion on, I mean, the story is there, you can read it. But the Lord, taking compassion on this month, said that you will be as good as me. The Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So you will be the supreme amongst all the months. So from being a dirty month, now this month is known as Purushottam, right? The best, like Krishna's month, like that, Purushottam Mas. So then, just like by worshipping Krishna, you get the highest benefit. Similarly, anyone who observes any devotional practices during this month, any austerities he does, or any charity he does, he gets unlimited results from that. Why do devotees observe this Purushottam Mas? What is the idea of Purushottam Mas? The idea is what we recited just now. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam madparayana. So engage your mind always. Devotees must do this always. They should that is our goal. We want to remember Krishna, bow down before him, act as his devotee, and worship him. We want to do this always, but we are not able to do it always, isn't it? We are not able to do it 24/7. Then opportunities like this, whether it is Chaturmas, or whether it is a Purushottam month, or whether it is Kartik, it gives you an impetus, because we are not able to do it all the time. But when there is a specific time allotted, then you can focus all your attention on devotional service during that time, at least during that time. Otherwise, every day we get pulled in so many different directions, isn't it? So we are not able to give that focus time. But at least during this period, you focus on the Supreme Lord, on devotional practices. So what should we do then? What should we do? So our focus, our center should be to worship Radha Krishna, to worship Gaur Nitai, right? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, to render devotional service to him. So whatever you're doing already, try to increase it. Try to increase it. Now, in order to increase devotional service, you need some more time, isn't it? So therefore, you minimize your other activities. Generally, householders have a lot of work because they have to cook and they have to clean. This takes up so much time. And what to speak of cooking 3 meals and cleaning up after 3 meals, so much time. So therefore, that is, every time there is a fasting, the idea is to simplify your daily activities, minimize that time, and use that time for devotional service. That's the whole idea of whether it is Ekadasi, whether it is Kartik, whether it is Chaturmas or Purushottam Mas. We want to increase our devotional service. And of course, simply performing austerities brings us to the mode of goodness that is there. And apart from that, don't commit any offenses during this month. Don't, again, this we should be doing all the time, but all the time we may forget. But this time specifically during this time, don't criticize anybody. Don't criticize, especially devotees and anyone who's observing Purushottam Mass. Don't criticize them, don't blaspheme them, and try to chant more. Rise early in the morning, and do Mangalarti, or whatever morning you are able to do. Rise early in the morning and do some devotional practice in the morning, like that. So just the idea is everyone is in different circumstances, so you do more than what you are normally doing. And of course there are prescribed diets, different types of diets are there. You follow whatever whatever your situation permits. Sometimes you have health issues, sometimes you have other issues, you may not be able to follow. So devotees eat khichdi, right? Khichdi means, again, you don't put any tadka. So you can, they eat boiled, like rice dal, you boil it and then you can put some ghee on top and some salt, like that, like plain simple eating for 1 month. And there are again different levels. Some devotees do only Ekadasi Prasadam throughout the month. Some devotees drink only milk, and some devotees drink only water. So whatever you want to do, whatever you are able to do. But again, the idea is not just fasting. It's not just fasting. The idea is devotional service. Your fasting is to allow for more extra devotional service, so you minimize whatever you're doing. And if you are best able to serve by eating, then it's okay. Eat and you do devotional service. It's important that you do devotional service, and not that, oh, because I'm fasting now I cannot do devotional service. Then that's not really recommended. Okay. So was that helpful, Achinta Dev Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, and also I've heard that we should be reading chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita.
Correct. So that is called the Purushottama Yoga, 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. You can recite every day. And also from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 14th chapter. No, 10th canto. Which one is the 10, 14, right?
14th, yes, Mataji.
10, 14. The prayers of Lord Brahma, Brahma Stuti. So those verses also you can recite. Last year we were doing it every day. In the evening now we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. During that time
Brahma
every day.
Samhita, right? Brahma Samhita?
Brahma Stuti from Srimad Bhagavatam.
It's not Brahma Samhita, right?
No. 10, 14. Starts with text 8. 10, 14, 8. And then.
Do you want to do it, Mataji, every evening?
So increase time then, instead of Chaitanya Charitamrita, you're saying?
No. Let's do Chaitanya Charitamrita for half an hour and then do the Brahma Stuti.
Let's try. Okay.
Okay. If you force us, then only we will be able to do it, Mataji. Otherwise, one day we'll do, one day we won't, like that.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, we are meant to increase. So yeah, let's do it. So we'll do together. We'll just recite chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Stuti from Srimad Bhagavatam for 1 month. So, okay. We are already losing time. My fault. I came late. But it is.
Yes.
You're welcome. So 7:30. Let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. Saujanya Mataji, you're raising your hand, or it's from before? I think it's from before. Okay. Let's just begin. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8. Chapter 24. The glories of Matsya Bhagavan. Yeah. So we are reading the prayers offered by Satyavrata Maharaj to Matsya Bhagavan. Matsya, the Lord's fish incarnation. So we read sorry, I forgot the number. 53. Okay. So yesterday we read So Satyavrata Maharaj, in glorification of Matsya Bhagavan, said that you are the supreme spiritual master, isn't it? And also he's saying those who are less intelligent, those who are foolish, they get attracted to so-called gurus. But what is the benefit of taking shelter of such, so-called guru? So-called guru, why so-called guru? Because even after taking, that person is not going to give you that knowledge which will bring you back to your original constitutional position. So even after taking shelter of such a guru, you still remain a fool. You have to come back again to this material world. You have to take birth again and again and suffer in this material world. Whereas when someone takes shelter of the Supreme Lord, then you don't have to take birth again in this material world, and you come back to your original constitutional position. So he is inexhaustible, right? He's the supreme. There's no one better than him. So he's the best spiritual master. Text 51 says, and also it says, you are able to see in all directions. You are the supreme spiritual master because you know everyone. You are able to see in all directions and are omniscient like the sun. You know everything. Just like the sun sees everything, you see everything. So who can be a better spiritual master than you? A materialistic so-called guru instructs his materialistic disciples about economic development and sense gratification, and because of such instructions, the foolish disciples continue in the material existence of ignorance. But your lordship gives knowledge that is eternal, and the intelligent person receiving such knowledge is quickly situated in his original constitutional position. My lord, you are the supreme well-wishing friend of everyone. Yes, yes. Huh? You are the best friend. You are the dearmost friend, and you are the controller as Paramatma. You are the super soul, and you are the supreme instructor. You are the giver of supreme knowledge, and you are the fulfiller of all our desires. But in spite of all this, you are our dearest friend. You are the closest person to us. But still, although you are there right in the heart, foolish people are not able to see you. They are not able to understand you. Why? Because of lusty desires. Because of lusty desires, foolish people, even though the Lord is everything, He is giving us everything, He is there with us at every moment, He is fulfilling our desires, still we don't recognize Him because of lusty desires, because our hearts are filled with lusty desires. Then how can we overcome these lusty desires? What is the only way? Devotional service to the Supreme Lord. By doing devotional service, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, your heart becomes cleansed of all these lusty desires by chanting Hare Krishna. So now we'll start with the next verse, text 53. So Shamal Gopika Mataji, if you're able to read, you can do. Tvam Twamaham Dev. Okay, you want to recite? Go ahead, Mataji. You recite and you can read.
Yes, sure. Tvam Twamaham Devavaram Varenyam Prabhadya Isham Pratibodhanaya Chintiyartadhipair Bhagavan Vachopir Grantin Hridaya Vivirno Swam Okaha. O Supreme Lord, for self-realization, I surrender unto you, who are worshipped by the demigods as a supreme controller of everything. By your instruction exposing life's purpose, kindly cut the knot from the core of my heart and let me know the destination of my life.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. So again and again, Satyavrat Maharaj is saying the same thing. Cut the knot in my heart, which is in the core of my heart. What is that? What is that knot? Fruitive activity. Yes, the knot in the heart is fruitive activities, that desire for fruitive activity. Why this is there? Because of our ignorance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of turning away from the Supreme Lord, because of that avidya, one after another, we are there's a chain reaction to that. And now we are in such a position that we are conditioned to do fruitive activities. Who can cut that knot? Only the Supreme Lord. When we take shelter of the Supreme Lord, then He can do it. So He's praying, my Lord, you are worshipped even by the demigods. You are the supreme controller of everything. I'm surrendering to you for self-realization. I'm covered by ignorance. I'm covered by avidya. I don't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. But I'm surrendering unto you for self-realization. Why you? You are the supreme controller of everything. You are even worshipped by the greatest of the demigods. By your instructions, exposing life's purpose, right? Through your instructions. Where do we find Krishna's instructions? Bhagavad Gita, Kapil Dev's instructions, Uddhav Gita, so on, so many. Krishna is always giving us instructions. Through your instructions, life's purpose will be exposed. What is the purpose of my life? What is the purpose of this human form of life? Is it simply living comfortably and living for a long time? Is that the purpose of human life? Giving some charity, helping poor, and is that all? Is that the purpose of human life? By your instruction, the purpose of human life will be exposed. Therefore, cut the knot from the core of my heart. Yes? Fruitive activity, even charity, all this is also fruitive activity because you want to do charity and acquire pious credits. With the pious credits, you want to enjoy in future. Or one of the verses, Satyavrata Maharaj said that also. Please remove this ignorance concerning punya and papa. So cut the knot. What is this knot? It is that desire for fruitive activity. Cut this knot from the core of my heart. Let me know the destination of my life. What is the goal of my life? Please reveal it to me. Like this. And then he's surrendering. Right? Perfect candidate for Ananya Bhakti. Purport. Prabhuji is there, Mataji? No, right? Surananda Madhav Prabhuji.
No, Mataji.
Okay. So next, Kalpesh Prabhu.
Mataji, he is not available. Can I
You
read?
can read, yes.
But sometimes it is argued that people do not know who is spiritual master and that finding a spiritual master from whom to get enlightenment in regard to the destination of life is very difficult. To answer all these questions, King Satyavrata shows us the way to accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a real spiritual master. The Supreme Lord has given full directions in Bhagavad Gita about how to deal with everything in this material world and how to return home back to Godhead. Therefore, one should not be misled by so-called gurus who are rascals and fools. Rather, one should directly see the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the Guru or instructor. It is difficult, however, to understand Bhagavad Gita without the help of Guru. Therefore, the Guru appears in the
Parampara.
In the Parampara system. In Bhagavad Gita 4.34, the Supreme Personality of Godhead recommends Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya
Upadekshanti.
Updekshayanti te Danam Dani Tattva Darshina.
Next person will read, Mataji. Next person. Thank you. Okay, so Usha Mataji and Medha. Medha, Usha Mataji, you're able to read?
Yes, Mataji. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Lord Krishna directly instructed Arjuna. Arjuna is therefore Tattvadashi or Guru. Arjuna accepted the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. Similarly, following in the footsteps of Sri Arjuna, who is a personal devotee of the Lord, one should accept the supremacy of Lord Krishna, as supported by Vyasa, Devala, Asita, Narada, and later by the Acharyas Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbarka, and Vishnu Swami, and still later by the greatest Acharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Where then is the difficulty in finding a guru? If one is sincere, he can find the guru and learn everything. One should take lessons from the guru and find out the goal of life. Maharaja Satyavrata therefore shows us the way of the Mahajana. Mahajano yena gataha sa pantaha. Pantaha. One should surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dasavatara, and learn from him about the spiritual world and the goal of life. Thank you very much.
It's a very important instruction here, how to find a spiritual master, isn't it? That's the very, it is a, how do you say it? It's very crucial. It's very crucial to find the right spiritual master. But the conclusion is, if you are sincere, you will find the right spiritual master, right? Those who want to be cheated, they will find cheating gurus, cheater gurus. But if you are sincere, then the Lord is there in the heart as Paramatma. He will guide you to the right guru. So how do we become sincere? First of all, what is the goal of life? What is it that you're looking for? Why do you want a spiritual master? Are you looking for some material advancement? And then you want a guru so that the guru will help you make some material advancement? Or are you sincerely looking for answers to questions in life? Who am I? What happens after death? What's beyond this world? Or where was I before I took birth? When you get such questions, that means now you have actually come to the human form of life. Until we get these questions, we are, even though externally we have a human body, we are still having animal consciousness. So when you get such questions, now you look for a guru who can give you answers to these questions. So the supreme guru who answers all these questions is Krishna. All answers are there in Bhagavad Gita. So then who is a guru? Actually, Guru is the Supreme Lord. That's what again and again in all these verses Satyavrata Maharaj is saying, you are the Supreme Spiritual Master, right? You are the Supreme. You will give us the highest knowledge. By that we can come back to our original constitutional position. But the problem is, you may not be able to understand Bhagavad Gita on your own. Of course, the statements of the Shastra are as clear as the sun, but we are covered over. We are not able to understand. So we need the help of a teacher to explain what is there in Bhagavad Gita as it is, to just make us understand what is there, what is being said in Bhagavad Gita. But there also you get cheating gurus who will come and give some other meaning to the direct verses of Bhagavad Gita. So then how do you find out who is the right guru? How do you find out? So therefore we have three. We have sadhu, guru, and shastra. You have sadhu, guru, and shastra. So bottom line is, if you are sincere in heart in trying to find, the help is there always. The Lord is there in the heart. both internally and externally he is helping. Internally also he will guide you where to go, where to find, and externally also he will come in the form of the spiritual master to guide us. So we have to be sincere. But otherwise, how do you check? Whatever is being said by the Supreme Lord, the same thing will be said by the Guru. If his instructions are contradicting with the instructions of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, then you know there is something wrong. If the Guru is saying the goal of life is material prosperity, he is not a real Guru. Approaching such a Guru. And then we have sadhus, we have gurus, acharyas, previous acharyas and present also. So we have Sripad Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbarka, Vishnu Swami. So they have set examples. And then there is parampara. That's another thing, parampara. For you to be sure who is actually a guru, this is the first thing I check. This is the first thing. Because especially in India, you'll find so many sadhus, so many controversies you don't know. And then there's also this aspect of offense. What if he's actually a sadhu? And if you are, rejecting, then are you committing an offense? Isn't it? But at the same time, we have to be careful. How do you know? So first thing I look for is he coming from a parampara? Does he have a guru? And most of the time, I'm told that no, he doesn't have any guru. He's like self, he's realized and the Lord revealed to him. Then I just go away from there. I don't go any further. There's no need to inquire any further. Or is, and sometimes they're very famous and, they have their temples and so on and so forth. And you go inside and you see, do you have any Bhagavad Gita? No. Then what is it? We have the writings of our Guru, books of our Guru. There's no Bhagavad Gita. That's also a red light. Guru will only tell what Krishna is saying. So actually it is not very difficult, but if we are foolish, it can be difficult. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, those who want to be cheated will be cheated. Like-minded people get attracted, isn't it? So first of all, we should be sincere. We should be sincere. And then we will get the right association. And sincere means you have to pray to the Supreme. He is there in the heart, isn't it? He is there in your heart. So that's about Guru. Srila Prabhupada has explained so nicely here in this purport. So people sometimes argue that who is the right spiritual master? How do you find, right, the spiritual master from whom we can get enlightenment? So King Satyavrata is showing us the way to accept the Supreme Lord as the Supreme Spiritual Master. The real spiritual master is the Supreme Lord. Then anyone who repeats the Lord's message, he's a bona fide spiritual master. So Tadvidhi, and how to approach a spiritual master? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Guru appears in parampara, coming from Krishna. So Krishna gives instruction to his disciple, then he gives to his evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu, isn't it? So like this, in disciplic succession, the message is the same. Whatever Krishna has given is being passed down. That's why you look for parampara. Every time, if you are ever in a doubt, you see other temples also. Sometimes in villages, you will see, some one particular Guru is very famous and the whole village is worshipping. And then, people have this faith. But we cannot just be sentimental, right? So if you go to their temple, you will see there won't be any Bhagavad Gita. Even sometimes not even the Lord's deity, Vigraha, will not be there. Just their gurus will be there on the altar and they worship him as the Supreme Lord. The Lord has come in this form. We cannot accept that. That has to be there in the Shastra. We don't find those names in the Shastra. So we don't accept. However impressive it may be, because Pratyaksha Jnanam and Anumana Jnanam are defective. It may look very impressive to our senses, to our mind even. Even the mind is one of the senses. 6 senses. Manah Shashtani Indriyani. Shashtani means 6 indriyas. 5 and 1, the mind. So to our mind also, it may seem, wow, amazing, right? Sometimes they talk very nice philosophy also. But to decide if this person is bona fide or not, first of all, you look at parampara. And then parampara, is it beginning from Krishna? All bona fide sampradayas, Vaishnava sampradayas begin with Krishna. Like that. Then many will follow it. There itself, they actually all will follow it when you look at parampara. Somewhere down the line, someone must have just started and then it's coming down. And again, scripture. You have to see what is the book that they're following, what is the scripture that they're following. Are they following Bhagavad Gita? And then what is the interpretation? Sometimes Bhagavad Gita they have, but they give Mayavad interpretations to that. That's why you have other sadhus. Check with what is being said by Ramanujacharya, what is being said by Madhvacharya, all the sadhus. And then check what is being said by this person. Does it match? Is he coming in a parampara? Then you'll know if he's bona fide or not. So therefore our supreme spiritual master is Krishna. And anyone coming from him and strictly following, living life according to Krishna's instructions, he is the Guru in coming in parampara. 54. Sri Shuka Uvacha Ityuktavantam Nripatim Bhagavan Adi Purushaha Matsya Rupi Maham Bodhau Viharam Statvam Abravit. Medha, actually, yes, I think. No, Sonia Mataji read. I'm losing track.
Yes, Mataji.
Medha. Medha is not there? Okay, we'll go to the next person because we're running out of time.
Mataji, I'm here.
You're here? Yeah, go ahead.
Sukadeva Goswami continued, when Satyavrat had thus prayed to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who had assumed the form of fish, the Lord, while moving in the water of inundation, explained to him the absolute truth.
Yeah. So Satyavrata Maharaj approached Matsya Bhagwan as the supreme spiritual master. So what happened when Arjuna approached Krishna as the supreme spiritual master? Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava prichami tvam dharma sammudha cheta yachreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Arjuna said that now I am confused about my duty because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. I am your disciple. Please instruct me. In the same mood, Satyavrat Maharaj is also approaching. You are the supreme spiritual master. What is the use of approaching any other? Not even the demigods. Nobody can deliver me from my problems. Nobody can bring me back to my original constitutional position. Please cut the knot which is in the core of my heart, this knot of desire for fruitive activity. Please guide me. So obviously then Krishna began his instructions after that. So similarly here also Matsya Bhagwan is instructing. What is Matsya Bhagwan saying? When Satyavrata had thus prayed to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who had assumed the form of a fish, the Lord, while moving in the water of inundation, explained to him the absolute truth. So while moving in the water, he's explaining the absolute truth. Purana Samhitam Divyam Sankhya Yoga Kriyavatim Satyavratasya Rajarsher Atma Guhyam Asheshataha. So, Neelambari Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
translation.
Which verse, Mataji?
It's on the screen. You're able to see?
I would read from the
book 8:24:55.
24:55. Okay. The Supreme the Supreme Personality of Godhead thus explained to King Satyavrata the spiritual science known as Sankhya Yoga, the science by which one distinguishes between matter and spirit. In other words, Bhakti Yoga, along with the instructions contained in the Puranas, the old histories, and the Samhitas. The Lord explained himself in all these literatures. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So Matsya Bhagwan explained Sankhya Yoga. This is the original Sankhya Yoga. Even Kapil Dev explained Sankhya Yoga to Mother Devahuti. So Sankhya Yoga is distinguishing between matter and spirit. So by studying the things that are around us, you are trying to find out what is the source of everything, right? And by rejecting everything, this is not, and finally you will come to what is the source of everything. And then why is it called Bhakti Yoga? Sankhya Yoga, distinguishing between matter and spirit. In other words, Bhakti Yoga. Why is it called Bhakti Yoga? It's like this. It's said in Bhagavad Gita also, 5th chapter. When you have a tree, the scientist comes to research. What is this tree? How is it growing? Leaves and nice flowers and fruits. Where is it getting its nourishment from? He's very intrigued. So he just starts studying the whole tree. Oh, the tree is actually rooted into the ground, right? So researching, finally he'll find out that, oh, this is the root of the tree. The tree gets nourishment from the root. Now what will he do? Tell me, after he finds out this is the root, what should he do? Water it, isn't it? It's simple. So that is common sense. If his interest is in the tree and he wants the tree, he likes the tree so much, or he likes the mangoes on the tree, he wants the fruits, or peaches here, right? So if he wants, what should he do? Oh, and he knows the nourishment is coming from the roots, he will water. So similarly, through Sankhya Yoga, you will try to find out who is the source of everything, right? By studying the difference between matter and spirit. You see, you take a person, this person is talking, moving, and then there's another body, dead body. That person is not moving. What is the difference between the two? How this person is able to move and that one is not moving? What is the difference? So you just go and do your research of the whole body. Everything is the same. This person also has blood, this person has everything. What is missing in the dead body? Oh, the spirit soul is missing. Like this. So this is, by research you try to understand what is the source, and finally he comes to understand this is the root of this whole creation, Lord Vishnu. And then what should you do after you find out? Now you have to worship. So therefore Sankhya Yoga is also leading you to bhakti only. That's why it is said bhakti. After you find out that the source of the tree, the source of nourishment of the tree is the root, you will water the root. That's natural consequence. So similarly, by Sankhya Yoga, when you understand who is the Supreme, then next you will render devotional service to him. So Matsya Bhagwan explains Sankhya Yoga to Satyavrata Maharaj, and Sankhya Yoga is distinguishing between matter and spirit. In other words, it is also Bhakti Yoga. And he, along with Sankhya Yoga, Matsya Bhagwan also gave instructions that are contained in the Puranas, that's in the old histories and Samhitas. And the Lord explained himself in all these literatures. So where do you get Puranas and Samhitas? They're also coming from the Lord. Puranas are also part of the Vedas, Panchama Veda. So Puranas are also Vedas only. And where are Vedas coming from? It's the Lord only. The Lord coming as Vedas. He himself is giving us. And that is again now repeated by Matsya Bhagwan to Satyavrata Maharaj. Text 56. I was thinking we'll finish this chapter. Ashraushid Rishibihi Sakam Atmatattvam Asamshayam Navyasino Bhagavata Proktam Brahma Sanatanam. Priyanka Mataji.
While sitting in the boat, King Satyavrata, accompanied by the great saintly persons, listened to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in regard to self realization. These instructions were all from the eternal Vedic literature, Brahma. Thus, the king and sages had no doubt about the absolute truth.
So Satyavrata Maharaj is in the boat along with the Saptarishis. This is another important point. Anyone can come and say, I am the Supreme Lord, and he'll give instructions, you will accept. Can you accept like that? For us, the proof is Shastra. Even when the Lord himself comes and says, we will compare it with the scripture. And then we'll see, oh, it matches. Yes, he is the Supreme Lord. How did the devotees accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Because the symptoms of him, first of all, his name was already mentioned in the scripture, and his activities, his symptoms completely matched with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, they wouldn't accept. Similarly, the Saptarishis were there. When they heard the instructions given by Matsya Bhagavan, these instructions are given from the Shastra only. The Lord is not speaking something different. Because the Shastras are also given by him. There won't be any difference. Similarly, whatever is coming down in parampara, whether a previous acharya is saying 4 generations or 10 generations before us or immediately before us, there won't be any difference in their teachings, because all these teachings are coming from Krishna only. We just now said Guru means he will only repeat what is said by Krishna. He may say it according to that particular time, according to the receptivity of the people at that time, but the message will not be changed. He may give a little bit. If the people are not advanced enough to accept, he may not give the whole thing, he may give a little bit. Or some are more advanced, he may give a little bit more. But the principle, the message will not change. It will be the same thing. So, Satyavrat Maharaj heard instructions from Matsya Bhagwan. The Saptarishis were also hearing, and they saw, yes, these are the same instructions that are given in the Shastra. He's saying exactly what is there in the Shastra. And they accepted him as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. And by the way, about Matsya Bhagwan also it is there in the Shastras. That is also said in the Shastra that this is the Supreme Lord. So we will not have any doubt accepting who is the Supreme Lord or who is a bona fide spiritual master. So while sitting in the boat, King Satyavrata, accompanied by the great saintly persons, listened to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in regard to self-realization. These instructions were all from the eternal Vedic literature Brahma. Thus, the king and sages had no doubt about the absolute truth. So the Vedas are also called Brahma. Why Brahma? Because they're eternal. Atita pralayapaya uttitaya savedhase hatvasuram hayagrivam vedan pratyaharadharihi. Who's next? Saujanya Mataji or Sri Radhe Shravani Mataji?
Yes, ma'am. At the end of the last inundation during the period of Swayambhuva Manu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead killed the demon named Hayagriva and delivered all the Vedic literatures to Lord Brahma when Lord Brahma awakened from sleeping.
So this we discussed before. This is the second time that Matsya Bhagwan is appearing to Satyavrata Maharaj. Matsya Bhagwan appeared at the beginning of creation, Swayambhuva Manu. So in one day of Brahma, beginning of creation means this kalpa, right? Every day of Brahma is a new kalpa. So there's again another creation. There's partial annihilation at the end of Brahmaji's day. And again, when he wakes up in the morning, there's another creation. Every time he wakes up in the morning, he has to create. And his day is divided into 14 manvantaras. First manvantara is Swayambhuva Manvantara. So in Swayambhuva Manvantara, Matsya Bhagwan restored the Vedas from that demon Hayagriva. The kalpa before, just before annihilation, or at the time of annihilation, when Lord Brahma was feeling sleepy, he yawned and the Vedas came out from his mouth, and this demon Hayagriva stole those Vedas. Now, without that Vedic knowledge, how Brahma is going to create the next day? So, Matsya Bhagavan appeared, retrieved the Vedas from Hayagriva, and handed them to Brahmaji. That's what is being said here. But now, again, the Lord appeared at the end of Chakshusha Manvantara for Satyavrata Maharaj. Satu Satyavrato Raja Jnana Vijnana Samyutaha Vishnu Prasadat Kalpesmin Asid Vaivasvato Manuhu. Saujanya Mataji, you are able to read?
Yes, Mataji.
Translation.
King Satyavrata was illuminated with all Vedic knowledge by the mercy of Lord Vishnu. And in this period, he has now taken birth as Vaivashvata Manu, the son of the sun god. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Purport. Mataji, Suvarnangi Mataji and Narsimhalila Chetan Prabhu. You are able to read?
Hare Krishna.
Purport, Prabhuji.
Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives his verdict that Satyavrata appeared in Chakshusha Manvantara. When the Chakshusha Manvantara ended, the period of Vaivashvata Manu began. By the grace of Lord Vishnu, Satyavrata received instructions from the second fish incarnation and was thus enlightened in all spiritual knowledge.
Yeah. So the same person, Satyavrata Maharaj of Chakshusha Manvantara, he received enlightenment from Matsya Bhagavan, and in the next Manvantara, he became the Manu. Who is that Manu? His name is Shraddha Deva. He is the son of Vivaswan. He is called Vaivasvata Manu. That is our Manvantara. We are in Vaivasvata Manvantara. So this same Satyavrata Maharaj of the previous Manvantara, he is the Manu now. Vaivasvata Manu, or his name is Shraddha Deva, son of Vivaswan. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives his verdict, judgment, that Satyavrata appeared in the Chakshusha Manvantara. When Chakshusha Manvantara ended, the period of Vaivasvata Manu began. By the grace of Lord Vishnu, Satyavrata received instructions from the second fish incarnation. Yes, because the first incarnation was in Swayambhu Manvantara. Satyavratasya Rajarsher Maya Matsyasya Saranginah Samvadam Mahadakyanam Shrutva Muchyeta Kilbishat. Suvarnangi Mataji is there?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
This story concerning the great king Satyavrata and the fish incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is a great transcendental narration. Anyone who hears it is delivered from the reactions of sinful life.
Hari Bol. So all of you who have heard this narration, you're all delivered from sinful reaction. All reactions of sinful life, if there are any from past life or whatever sinful reactions you may have, they're all delivered simply by hearing this narration. So nice. No? Anyone who hears it is delivered from the reactions of sinful life. This story concerning the great King Satyavrata and the fish incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu is a great transcendental narration. Anyone who hears it is delivered from the reactions of sinful life. Next. Avataram hareryoyam kirtayed anvaham naraha sankalpastasya siddhyanti sayati paramam gatim. Suhrid or Mataji.
Translation. One who narrates this description of the Matsya incarnation and King Satyavrata will certainly have all his ambitions fulfilled, and he will undoubtedly return home back to Godhead.
So if you want to go back to Godhead, what should you do? Tell someone about this pastime now. one who narrates this description of the Matsya incarnation and King Satyavrata, specifically Matsya Bhagwan's appearance to Satyavrata Maharaj. This narration describing Matsya Bhagwan and Satyavrata Maharaj, anyone who describes this, he will certainly have all his ambitions fulfilled. Whatever desires you have, they will be fulfilled, and undoubtedly you will also go back to Godhead. So, who will not take advantage of this opportunity? So now you have heard this, and if you don't remember it completely, go back and read and then tell someone about this. Text 61. Pralaya payasi. How does this go? This is, I think, Janmadhyasya meter, right? Pralaya payasi dhatuhu suptaha shakter mukhyebhyaha. No. Pralaya payasi dhatuhu supta shakter mukhyebhyaha. Shruti-ganam apanitam pratyupadatta hatva ditijam akathayad yo brahma satyavratanam tamaham akhila hetum jihmaminam natosmi. I don't know the meter, I just read it. Suvarnangi Mataji.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who pretended to be a gigantic fish, who restored the Vedic literature to Lord Brahma when Lord Brahma awakened from sleep, and who explained the essence of Vedic literature to King Satyavrata and great saintly persons.
I offer my respectful obeisances. Who's saying? Sukadev Goswami saying, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who pretended to be a gigantic fish, who restored the Vedic literature to Lord Brahma previously. He restored Vedic literature to Lord Brahma when Lord Brahma awakened from sleep, and who explained the essence of Vedic literature to King Satyavrata and the great saintly persons. So he restored the Vedas and gave them to Lord Brahma, and also he explained the essence of Vedic literature to in the form of Sankhya Yoga, the Puranas, Matsya Bhagavan explained to Satyavrata Maharaj, as well as other saintly persons. Okay, purport, first paragraph. Did we finish everyone in this cycle? So we'll begin now. Achyut Priya Mataji, you're able to read? Mataji is not
Yes,
here?
Mataji.
Yeah. First paragraph, Mataji.
Here is a summary of Satyavrata's meeting with the fish incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu's purpose was to take back all the Vedic literatures from the demon Ayagriva and restore them to Lord Brahma. Incidentally, by his causeless mercy, the Lord spoke with Satyavrata. The word Satyavratanam is significant because it indicates that those on the level of Satyavrata can take knowledge from the Vedas delivered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever is spoken by the Supreme Lord is accepted as Veda. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta Krit Veda Vita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the compiler of all Vedic knowledge, and he knows the purport of the Vedas. Therefore, anyone who takes knowledge from the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna or from Bhagavad Gita as it is, knows the purpose of the Vedas. Vedaishchai sarvairaham evam vedyaha. One cannot understand Vedic knowledge from the Vada Rathas who read the Vedas and misconstrue their subject matter. One has to know the Vedas from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the 8th canto, 24th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Matsya, the Lord's Fish Incarnation.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
Krishna.
Rasapriya said she didn't read, so I'll just let her read. Today is her birthday. All of you, please bless her. Go ahead, Rasapriya, read the last paragraph.
This commencement has been finished in our New Delhi Center today, the 1st of September 1976, the day of Shraddha Sri. By the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Acharyas, Sri Narottam Das Thakur says,
तादेरा चरण सेवी भक्त सनिवास जनमे जनमे होय ए अभिलाष.
I am attempting to present Srimad Bhagavatam in the English language by the order of my spiritual master, Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And by his grace of work of translation is gradually progressing, and the European and American devotees who have joined the Krishna consciousness movement are helping me considerably. Thus, we have expectations of finishing the great task before my passing away. All glories to Guru and Gauranga.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that this work so far was completed in 1976, right? 1 year before Srila Prabhupada left. In September of 1976 on Radhashtami Day. So he completed this chapter, this section up to the...
Mataji, we also did not read today.
No, this is from yesterday. She didn't get a chance.
Oh, no.
That-
I'm saying you are just asking that if everyone read, no?
No. In the cycle, when we were going, because when someone doesn't show up on a certain day, they get skipped and we just keep moving forward. But if somebody is particularly interested, and especially because she was asking me today, she didn't read yesterday when it was her turn.
No, not for Rasapriya. I'm saying for everyone.
Everyone, we have limited time, no, Mataji. Not everyone gets a
I was
chance.
thinking that you wanted everyone to read. That's why.
Yeah, so we will continue. Tomorrow we'll start with you, because today Achitpriya Mataji read and Rasapriya was just catching up from before. So we'll start with you tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Rasapriya. Happy Krishna conscious birthday. May Krishna bless you to be pure devotee of Krishna.
Thank you. Happy Krishna.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Rasapriya.
Krishna conscious birthday, Rasapriya.
Happy Krishna conscious birthday, Rasapriya.
Happy Krishna conscious. Thank you, everyone.
Happy
Turn on
Krishna
your
conscious
camera,
birthday.
Rasapriya.
Happy Krishna conscious birthday, Rasapriya. Wish you very, very, very happy Krishna conscious birthday, Rasapriya.
Very happy Krishna conscious birthday, Rasapriya.
Come here, everyone is wishing you.
Happy Krishna
We
conscious
can't see you.
Thank
Happy Krishna conscious birthday, Rasapriya.
Happy Krishna conscious birthday, Rasapriya.
Thank you all. Hare.
Mataji, we'll sing together.
You want to sing? Okay. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna, dear Rasapriya. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Rama to you. Rama dear Rasapriya. Hare Rama to you. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya eva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
You never take birth again. You never
take birth again.
May you never take birth again.
Go back to Godhead.
Oh, thank you.
Happy Krishna conscious birthday, Rasapriya. Happy Krishna conscious birthday, Rasapriya.
Happy Krishna conscious birthday, once again, Rasapriya.
Thank you.
And next is Arunita's birthday, day after tomorrow, right?
And Arunav.
Yes, and Arunav. Yes, Jeet and Arunita's birthday. So we look forward to that. Hare Krishna.
But
Thank
it is
you all
on
so much.
Saturday, Mataji. It's falling on Saturday. We will be in Gita Nagari.
Okay, so wish you in person then.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.